Hey Campernoia, this is Callie. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some origami flowers that you can turn into a bouquet and brighten up your home. For this video, you're going to need paper, tape, scissors, and markers or crayons or colored pencils. Alright y'all, so here we're going to start talking a little bit about the type of paper that you can use. I have some purple paper here. It's rectangular. I also have some orange. I have some pink that's like a really long rectangle. And if you don't have any type of colored paper at your house, that is okay. You can just use plain copy paper. Now, if you're really creative and you have some markers or crayons or colored pencils, paint, something like that at your house, you can decorate the white copy paper. And what I have done is I have put some decorations on my white copy paper here so that it's a little easier to tell which side I'm on. So one side has pink X's, one side does not, so it'll be a little easier to tell with that. So we need to have square paper. So my paper right now is in a rectangle, so I need to make it into a square. The way that you can make your paper perfectly square is you can take and turn your paper over. I mean, it doesn't matter either way actually, but you turn your paper over and you're going to make a triangle. So I'm going to take one corner of my paper here, I'm going to pick it up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it meet right over here on the other edge of that side of the paper. So now my pink X's are up. So you can kind of, that's kind of why I did that, so you can kind of see there. So we're going to crease it right there on that edge. And then this part where the pink X's are not is the part that we're gonna put aside for right now. So you can take your scissors and we're gonna cut that extra part off. So we're gonna run right beside where our fold is. And it's okay if you don't get it exactly perfect. It will still work just fine. Right, so I cut that off and now I have my paper that's in the shape of a triangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my triangle. I'm going to flatten it out on my table here, and I can see that I pretty much have a perfect square. So that's how you're going to make your paper square. So that's where we're going to start folding from here. Now you can see that we've already got the one crease of the triangle here from where we folded our paper, and we're going to need that in a minute. So it's actually a good thing that we had to use our paper in that way. Next, I'm going to fold my paper so that I have a crease that goes across this. So it's kind of going to look like an X across my paper. So I'm going to take this bottom corner down here and I'm going to meet it with my other corner up here, just straight across, just like that. And then you're going to crease down here on the bottom. Now you're going to notice that right here I'm overlapping a little bit and it's not quite perfect, but that's okay. So I got my paper here and I'm going to make sure that my decorated side is up. You only need to decorate one side of the paper. So I'm going to take and I'm going to fold one triangle, doesn't matter which triangle, in like this. And then I'm going to come on the opposite side of my paper. So I folded this triangle in and I'm going to kind of pinch right here. And I'm going to fold this triangle in so that I'll turn my big square into a smaller triangle. So when you get that, I'm going to do that again. You're going to push in on this side, and then you're going to push in on this side, and then push down here in the middle of your triangle, because that's where those papers are folded at, and that's where your crease is going to be. So crease that really well right there, then you're going to flip it over, and you can feel those papers under there. Crease that side. And now you should have a triangle. Now sometimes that step gives people a little trouble, and that's okay. So if you need to pause the video anytime, you pause it. You can go back, rewatch it, and catch up with us again later. From here, from your triangle, you're going to lift one side up. So there's two layers there. I'm not going to lift both of those layers up. I'm only going to lift one layer up, and I'm going to take the point of my triangle here, and I'm going to take it up to the top of my triangle here. So I'm going to push down right there, and then the crease is going to be right down here on the bottom. And you'll notice I still have my other layer still here behind it. You want to make sure you keep that other layer. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. So you're going to pick up one layer you're going to take this point up to the tip top of your triangle and make sure that these two sides here do not overlap. We're going to do some overlapping a little later, but make sure they just kind of touch each other right there in the middle. So we're going to crease here, and then when we let go, these are going to kind of be popping up a little bit, and that's okay because we're going to fix that in a minute. Basically, this looks like a small square on a bigger triangle. So you're going to flip over to where you just see the triangle side. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to pick this corner up and you're going to take it up to the tip top of your triangle and you're going to crease here. And you're going to take this corner up and you're going to take it to the tip top of your triangle. Make sure you don't overlap. You're going to crease it here. Now, if you notice, these aren't lined up exactly. That's okay. They're hanging over a little bit. This origami project does not have to be perfectly aligned. I know some do, but this one does not. Just a fun fact for everybody, these amazing friendship bracelets are totally left over from last summer, so there's some fun Ranoia magic for you. So our small square, you're going to notice that your triangles are kind of sticking up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to tuck those in. So we're going to take one square and we're going to pick up on it just the layers, the top layer here and the top layer here. And we're going to fold those over together like this. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. We're going to kind of tuck those triangles in and we're going to fold down. So now we have a nice small flat square. So let me show you that again. We're here. We've got our triangles that are sticking up, so we're going to pick up on those triangles, match those together, and then we're going to match these triangles over here. So it's kind of like a little flip move. We're kind of flipping that small square inside out. Now with our small square, I want you to take a look at the edges. Some of the edges, like these edges on this side, are closed. And if you'll notice down here on this side, the edges of your square are actually open-ended. So we're going to be using those. So we want to put our square down to where the open edges are on the bottom. So I need to be able to open these up down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one layer of my square and I'm going to fold it over, and you can see where I've folded this before. There's a crease there. So this is where we're going to start overlapping. We're going to take one side and we're going to overlap that middle line. I know before now we've just been meeting with the lines and not overlapping any, but now we're going to start overlapping. So we overlap here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pick up the other side. We're going to fold it over and we're going to overlap just a little bit. Now, if you can notice, I'm not overlapping. I'm not taking it all the way across to the other side of the square. I'm just overlapping that middle point just a little bit, just a hair. So I'll fold those down, get those nice and creased. And you're going to notice that your openings are here. So one of my triangles that I have folded over here, one of my sides, is a little shorter than the other. So I'm going to take the one that's taller, which just happens to be this side. It could be either side. It doesn't matter which one. This one has the opening. It's a little taller, so I'm going to open that one up, and I'm going to take this side, and I'm going to stick it inside that opening, and I'm going to crease it down just like that. And it should stay pretty flat when you do that. It shouldn't be bouncing back up or coming apart. That should stay together one place inside of the other there. So we're going to flip over to the other side, do the same exact thing. We're going to get our opening here, and we're going to fold it over our middle line, overlapping just a little bit. And then we're going to come over to our left side. We're going to do the same thing. Overlap just a little bit. And then this one, my left one, happens to be a little taller. So that's the one that is going to go on the top there. And I'm going to tuck those in just like I did the other side. And now you have a beautiful kite. But we are not making kites today. We are making some flowers. Now, this is my favorite part of this origami. This is when your flower is going to bloom. So this takes concentration. So what you're going to do is you're going to pinch your fingers here, and where your overlap occurs, where you tuck those papers in, you're going to pinch right there at the top, and then you're going to take your other pincher fingers and you're going to bring it over to the other side, and you're going to pinch those together. And you're going to pinch really tight, and you're going to hold those papers together. Now, while you're pinching, you're going to pull out gently, right there where you're pinching, and you can see that your flower has started to bloom. Now, while you're still holding on, still pinching, you're going to take your other fingers and you're going to push up on the bottom that's sticking out right there. And it's a little crumpled, but that's okay. You can kind of rearrange it a little bit. And there you go, there's your flower. Now, you want to have a little detail on your flower. So right up here, if you look up at the top, there are some loose pieces of paper. So you're just going to fold those down. And that is how you're going to create your beautiful tulip, your first tulip in your bouquet. Now remember, if you needed to go back or to pause the video anytime, you can always pause, go back and do a step again, and pace yourself on this origami project. So we're going to put our flower over to the side for right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to work on making a stem. Now I like to be resourceful, and this is actually the piece that we cut off earlier from our flower, and if you have some green paper, that's great. Here's some beautiful green. If you do not have some green paper, that is also great, because again, you can take your green marker or your green crayon or your green color pencils, and you can color your excess paper, because this is about the size strip that you're going to need to make your flower's stem. There you go. I've taken my green marker and I've colored my extra piece of paper green. If you're going to use green paper, these pieces of paper right here are also great to use as bookmarks. Now, to make your stem, you're going to need a pencil, and round pencils work best, but I don't actually have a round pencil with me at the moment, so I'm just going to be using any old pencil will work. What you're going to do is you want your green to be on the outside, so we're actually going to turn over to the other side of our paper with the other side up, and we're going to take our pencil and we're going to roll our green paper, our stem, tightly around that pencil. As tightly as you can. So when you get to the point that you only have a little bit of pencil left here, you want to kind of get your pencil out. Takes a little slipping out there. And you're going to keep rolling your paper. Just like that. And we're going to grab our Scotch tape. And we're going to tape right there where that little corner is. We're going to tape that up. If you don't have clear tape, maybe you have some green or can make some green. Doesn't matter. Whatever you have will work just fine. So there is our... Now we're going to take our stem, and it's going to go right in the bottom of our flower. There's a little opening there, and you can go right in the bottom of your flower, and there you have made your first tulip, your first origami flower for your bouquet. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're having fun making some origami flowers at your house. Have a great day, Camp Renoya.